Hello, in this video I will be walking you through to the installation process of Nextcloud on Ubuntu Server 24.04. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to use my Proxmox virtual machine server, and you can do both. Like, you can create a separate virtual machine, but as this is going to be the test machine, so I'm not gonna use a virtual machine. Instead, I will use a container. And if you want to know about the difference, what is the difference between container and a virtual machine, I can tell you in any other video. But right now I'll quickly go ahead and create a container, and I'm gonna give it name nc and the password for root, and then next is going to be selection of operating system. I'm going to use 24.04, and then now I'm going to give it some disk space. So let's say I'm gonna give it 100 GB, and I'll give it 4 CPUs and 8 gigs of RAM. And then under network, I'm going to use a static IP address 10.0.150/8, and this is the gateway for my LAN network. And next is going to be I'm going to use zsol.uk, and let's use Google DNS and start after create. So it will take a couple seconds, and once it's created, I don't need to install the whole operating system. It should be up there. So task okay, and I'm going to close this one and click on 150, which is NC, and then log in as root. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to update it. Upgrade. Okay, so it's updated. Now we are going to install apt install Apache 2. Enter, and it's gonna take 61 MBs. Yes, I'm fine with that. And then after the installation of Apache, we will start this service and see the status. So system CTL. First, we're going to enable it. Apache 2. Okay, it's enabled, and then system CTL start Apache 2. Okay, and then system CTL status Apache 2. Okay, it's active and running. And then the next step is going to be, we are going to install a database. So either you can use MariaDB or you can use MySQL. So for this one, I just realized the text size is like too small. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to log into the PuTTY session, and I will increase the text size. Okay, so now I hope you can see in better way. So now the next step is going to be installation of a database server. I'm going to install MariaDB server for this one. So I'm going to type this command apt install MariaDB dash server and MariaDB dash client, and it will take a couple seconds. You can install MySQL as well. MariaDB is almost the same thing, but it depends what you want to use. Okay, after installation of your MySQL or MariaDB server, make sure you do this step. So this is one additional step. If you want to do it, it's up to you. If you don't want to do it, you can ignore this one. But I do this all the time. So you can secure your MySQL. And if you have any password currently, you can enter that. If you don't have, then just hit enter. So it says switch to Unix socket authentication. So I'm just gonna say no here. And for this one, I do want to change the password. So I'll type Y and new password, hit enter. Okay, and then remove anonymous user. I'm gonna say yes. And disallow root login remotely. Yes. Remove test database. Yes. And then reload privileges tables now. Yes. So now we have removed any unknown user, any unknown access from remote, and then after that reload privilege tables. That means you're just going to reload all the database. Okay, so after completing this step, now we are going to create a database, a user, we will assign a password, and then we will assign all the privilege to that database for that user. Okay, now go to your database, MySQL space hyphen u, username is root hyphen hyphen p, and hit enter. So it will prompt you for the password. Whatever password you have set just now, enter here, and then you will be in the database. So here we are going to create a database. Create. So we type here in the database in capitals. So I'm going to type create database, which is going to be Nextcloud. I don't want to type Nextcloud in capitals, so that will not confuse my web browser while I will be configuring Nextcloud. And then semicolon and hit enter. If you see query okay, OneDrive affected, that means the entry was good. And then in the next line, we are going to create a user. Create user, and then whatever is the username you want to set, you can set. So as this one is the test machine, so I'll just use you can consider the default one like Nextcloud or NC or anything like that, but you can change your user here and then add. This will remain the same because this one is going to be in the local host, and then it's going to be identified by. Then here you need to enter your password and make sure all the spellings are correct. And if you're worried about spellings, then you can just go ahead and copy the command and paste here. So I'm going to set some secure password. So let's say super secure password with some numbers. Let's say 3232, and then hash and dollar sign, and hit enter. And then next command is going to be, we are going to grant all privileges on, and then the database name Nextcloud dot steric, that means everything, to the username, which is Nextcloud in my case. And then we are going to uh, type at, and then the host name, which is local host, and then semicolon, and then hit enter. And then we're going to flush privileges, enter, exit. All right, now we are done configuring the database. Okay, and the next thing we're going to need is PHP extensions, and I'm just copy and pasting this one here, and it will take a couple seconds. Okay, after that, just keep in mind what version of PHP you have just installed. So for me, it's PHP 8.3, and we will need to change something in the PHP 8.3 Apache. And then now I'm going into www, and let's see, we have HTML folder and we have just the index file. And if I go to the web browser and let's try the IP address 0.0.150, and you can see it is working fine. I'm going to close all the other tabs. So Apache is installed. Okay, so now we're going to download the Nextcloud application, or the Nextcloud server. So for that, you need to find the link online. You can go to their website. It's nextcloud.com, and then find the download link, or you can find it in my video description. I will post all the uh, commands in the description, or the link to my blog. You can find everything there. I'm going to just copy and paste, and shouldn't take that long. All right, it's downloaded here. So what I'm gonna do is unzip. If I type UNZ and after pressing tab it doesn't show, that means we don't have the unzip utility installed. So apt install unzip, and then try again unzip. Now I can see unzip is working, latest, and hit enter. It will automatically unzip everything in the Nextcloud folder. Let's check. So yeah, now you can see we have Nextcloud folder, and now we can remove this file. We don't need it anymore because we have all the files here. So next thing, we are going to check the permissions. Still you can see the ownership is under root. So I'm just gonna change the ownership to www-data, and then www-data user group to this HTML and Nextcloud. So it will change the ownership, and then I'm gonna change mode as well to 755 to var www HTML and then Nextcloud. And let's check one more time. Now you can see the ownership is changed to www data. And if I go to so if I type this address, it's going to go directly to this file index.html, but we are in the Nextcloud. So I will have to type this to enter into that folder, Nextcloud. Now you can see I have all this in, like the first initial page. You can say you can create a user and the password, and here you need to put in all the database detail and the folder you want to sync. uh, you can mention here, but make sure that folder has the www-data ownership and the good amount of rights to like create folders, files, and stuff like that. So for this initial one, I'm gonna stop my video here. So this is going to be the part one for installation, and then in the next video I'll explain more about like the configuration and modifying stuff. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.